The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook, to visit Sports Simulations and Replays. Sports Simulations and Replays, the group on Facebook where you can talk about any game you want to play as far as sports, whether it's PC or tabletop or console. That's Sports Simulations and Replays on Facebook. Well, it took us long enough to get here, but the Toronto Blue Jays finally have a field ready to play the Detroit Tigers Friday night. In a big one, the Tigers and Orioles tied for first, but not anymore because Jim Clancy threw a 6-hit shutout. He struck out 5 and got the only run in the game on Rance Mullinick's RBI single to score Ernie Witt. They only got 3 hits. That's all they needed. Toronto won, Detroit nothing. Baltimore is in first place in the American League East. As Retro Sports Network presents, well, it's not lunchtime, but it is a makeup game from our 1982 baseball replay. This afternoon from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers. Jim Gott goes for the Blue Jays and Jerry Uger goes for Detroit on an 81-degree afternoon on Lake Ontario. And of course, it's raining. Well, it only took us 4 or 5 days to get here. Good evening. My name is Ron Chuckett, Retro Sports Network. And this is a game we had left over from last week. We'll have and we didn't do a lunchtime stream today because I had lunch with my mom for Mother's Day. So we'll have a game for you on Thursday and a double header for you on Friday afternoon. But right now, the focus is on Toronto, who are now 8 games behind the front-running Baltimore Orioles, and a 4-team race in the American League East with the Detroit Tigers and the Milwaukee Brewers. So while it looks like the Blue Jays may be close to done as we head into August, you never know. In a 4-team fight, anyone can get in there as long as they stay close. And with Jim Clancy shutting down the Tigers on Friday night, you just don't know. Jim Gott looking for his 5th win of the year. Let's get to it. Let's start. As we say hello to Al, Red Sox fan of baseball demos. And Wilmer Defoe with a doink single in that game as the Mets and the Nats are playing. The Mets are winning big in real life. Here, let's take a look at the standings. And in the American League East, the Orioles have kind of finally topped the Tigers. It's a 1-game lead with Milwaukee 5 back and the Blue Jays 8 back. So Toronto, though, still has a run differential of 32. They don't play well at home. They're only 23-28, while the Tigers are 500 on the road. So I can tell you that our games this week, remember today was a miss because I love my mommy. Thursday afternoon will be Montreal and Philadelphia at lunchtime, and the Expos lead is 7. And then on Friday at noontime, it's a doubleheader. It's the Kansas City Royals at the Baltimore Orioles. So that's where we are. And so here Jim Gott gets ready for start number 14 on the year. He is 4-3 with a 5.04 ERA. His last start came against the Red Sox on July 26th, and he took a no decision. He didn't allow a run in 6 innings, allowed 6 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 5. So on the year, he has thrown 80 1/3 innings, 76 hits, 12 home runs, 52 total runs, 45 earned. He has walked 44 and struck out 51. And he does throw a fastball at about 92 miles an hour. He would become a reliever later in his career. So here's the lineup he will face. Detroit. Lou Whitaker will lead off and play second. Tom Brookins will bat second and play third. Larry Herndon, the left fielder, will bat third. Lance Parrish, the catcher, cleans up. Richie Hebner, thank God the Mike Ivy experiment's over, is the DH. He'll bat 5th. Rick Leach, the first baseman, will bat 6th. Chester Lemon, the right fielder, will go 7th. Wilson will bat 8th. He is Kirk Gibson's replacement. And Alan Trammell is the shortstop. Alan and I don't see things eye to eye. He will bat 9th. Defensively for the Blue Jays, Alvin Woods, a 5-2 in left. Lloyd Mosby, a 6-3 in center. Austin Powell, a 7-6 in right. Rance Mullenix is at third. He's a 3. Alfredo Griffin, a 7 at short. Dalaso Garcia, a 7 at first. Willie Upshaw in this lineup that features 8 left-handed hitters, with Uder on the mound, is at first, and Ernie Witt, a 5-5 behind the plate. Whittaker at 302, 11 homers and 45 RBI. Yeah, it's a traditional doubleheader. How you doing, Dale Lonsdale? And ID Jester just played Game 2 of the 2018 World Series, and we will not discuss the results. Let's just say the Red Sox didn't play that well. So Whittaker set, God is set, and we are ready to roll. Here in Toronto, and Whittaker slaps this one into right. Powell picks it up on a hop. Upshaw, by the way, is a 7 at first. Brings up Tom Brookins, doing his best Magnum P.I. impression, at 211, 4 homers and 20 RBI. Gott's ready. Well, there goes Whittaker. The throw down to Garcia, not in time. So Whittaker gets his 10th steal of the year. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Brookins. Gott deals. Struck him out. A 1-2 changeup on the inside corner. He looked at the knee cheese. 1 away for Larry Herndon at 307. 16 homers and 61 RBI. Gott delivers, and there's a ground ball to Upshaw. Flips it over to the pitcher, and there's 2 away. So Whittaker goes over to third. And now I'll bring up Lance Parrish at 290, 20 homers and 58 RBI. Oh, yeah, at this point, I think baseball demos, you are right. Absolutely. I think they might even miss Danny Espinosa, too. Pitch to Parrish is strike 3. Got out of it. Got good. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. No runs, a hit, no errors. Half an inning in the books here in Exhibition Stadium. The Tigers, nothing. Here come the Jays. So Jerry Uger, and if I'm pronouncing that right, this is old Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, where they played before Skydome opened up. And I don't know what year it is. The logos are there. I can recognize the Twins logo, and it's not the one that you would know from modern times. So this is pre-87. Anyway, let's tell you about Jerry making his 12th start of the year. He's 5-5 with a 4.46 ERA. Last start came against the Yankees, a no decision. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Walked 3 and struck out 3. So in 74 2/3 innings, he's allowed 65 hits, 14 home runs, 39 total, 37 earned. He has walked 45 and struck out 39. So good news for the Tigers. Defensively for Detroit, Larry Herndon is an 8-5 in left. I think it's George or Glenn Wilson is a 6 and an 8. And center, Chet Lemon, a 5-9 in right. So good defense for the Tigers out there. It is Tom Brookins at third. We'll see what he is in a moment. Alan Trammell, a 9 at short. Lou Whittaker, a 7 at second. And Rick Leach is a 5 at first. And number 1 in the hearts of all Michigan fans. And Lance Parrish is a 5 and an 8 behind the plate. Garcia at 337, 4 homers and 42 RBI, and since the Tigers want a bunt, we're not giving it to them. The pitch. There's a chopper down to Trammell's. Going to have to hurry over to Leach, and Garcia beat it out. So Trammell makes a poor play Leach has a few words for the umpire at first, and they said just stop it. He was safe. Here's Mullenix. Rams at 261. 2 homers and 20 RBI. It's Glenn Wilson. Don't think ID is a Leach fan. I don't think any of the Ohio State people that hang out in this chat are Leach fans. But I am. Hoodier's ready. Here's the pitch to Mullenix. Ground ball to Whitaker. Might be 2. Trammell for 1. Over to Leach at first. And they turn it. They get the pitcher's best friend. And no, it's not Charisse performing nightly at the Super Club. Here's Lloyd Mosby at 231. 2 homers and 39 RBI. Uger deals, and Mosby fly ball into shallow left field into foul territory. Brookins comes in and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits. Or 1 hit, no errors. After 1, Detroit nothing, Toronto nothing. Yes, he was a good quarterback. There's a game against Iowa where, heavens to Betsy, Michigan threw more than 4 passes. Be Richie Hebner, Mr. Leach, and Mr. Lemon for the Tigers here in the second. Hebner at 271, 9 homers and 35 RBI. Gott delivers right to Griffin, a sharp little bounder, and the throw to Upshaw is there for the out. So here it brings up Rick Leach at 273, 2 homers and 7 RBI. One second while I take care of something. And if you're going to sit there and give me bad puns all the time, you can at least be a mod. So there, Baseball Demos has the wrench. Rick Leach, as I told you about, he's having a good year for the Tigers. Pitch from Gott, and there's a chopper down to Griffin, over to Upshaw, 6-3 on the card. 2 away for Mr. Lemon. Chet at 305, only 7 homers and 48 RBI. Game number 100 for the Tigers and 100 for the Blue Jays. 62 left for both teams. Or 61 left after this. You've been called a fool before? Maybe I'm a fool. Pitch to Lemon. And there's a fly ball in the left. Woods makes the catch on the track to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. A tool? Well, yes, you've been called a tool. Isn't it? I liked it. I tried to very hard to make sure that all the parks in the 82 replay were actual parks and not the high heat cartoon ones, which you kind of have to do for the really older seasons, just because there just aren't any good images. So I do like this one as well. Willie Upshaw, Hoskin, Powell, and Adams, the DH, will bat here for the Jays here in the second. Upshaw, 256, 12 homers and 44 RBI. Who you calling a winch? Hoosier delivers, and there's a ground ball to Leach. Takes it to the bag himself on away. So the Jays, it's a surprise team in the American League East. Yankees and Red Sox have fallen below expectations, especially the Red Sox. And so, although Toronto's chances are slim, they are still there. We're now in the plausible, not the probable. Hoskin Powell is having a probable year at 322, 2 homers and 32 RBI. Yep, the wet AstroTurf. Pitch to Powell as a fly ball to right. Lemon comes in, squeezes it for the out. 2 away. Glenn Adams, who is 0 for 3 on the year. And look, we even have a picture of him with the Jays. So Uger cruising right along here in 2 out, bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. And there's a chopper down the line and gets past Brookins. Adams is going to get a double. So Herndon flung it back in. 2 out for Al Woods. Al at 217, a homer and 18 RBI. So the Jays have a runner in scoring position. The rain actually has stopped, hasn't here in Burlington. Wind blowing in from right field where that big scoreboard in the end zone, or one of the end zones for the Alouettes. So the rain has stopped, 82 degrees, and that field is just, ugh, God. Ugh. 2 out. Here's the pitch. Chopper to Whittaker, flips it over to Leach, and that will retire the side. Jay Strand 1 on the double. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 in the books, no score. They moved in the Dome in 89, the middle of the 89 season. Odyssey, Lemon in right, and Wilson in center. Yeah. Well, remember, Dave, that Gibson got hurt, and he's done for the year, so the Tigers are scrambling. And Larry's right, June of 89. I believe you're right. It fell behind schedule, and so they had to start the year at Exhibition Stadium. But I believe it was done by the time that did I say the Alouettes? They're the Argonauts, the Argos, the CFL team, started their year. Glenn Wilson is hitting 241 with 7 RBI. Had 12 homers on the year. Trammell and Whittaker to follow. Top the third. Ground ball to Mullenix over to Upshaw, 1 away. So here's Trammell. He's looking up here to see if I'm there. Alan and I have a history. I called him out before some games at Tiger Stadium, and then he hit 17,000 hits. He's hitting 224, 7 homers and 36 RBI. 1 out, top the third. Gott delivers, and there's a base hit into right. Powell picks it up on a hop, and Trammell will hold at first. So through 9 batters, Jim Gott has only thrown 30 pitches. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Mr. Whittaker singled and stole his 10th base of the year. Pitch from Gott. Whittaker to Garcia. This might be 2. Griffin is short for 1. Over to Upshaw. That should be 2. And it is. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Gott gets the pitcher's best friend after 2.5. Tigers nothing, Blue Jays nothing. No, I mean, Dale, if you must be familiar with the CFL, I mean, this is a football field. This is as much of a baseball stadium as the Coliseum was in Los Angeles and all that. This was not meant to be a multi-purpose park. And the CFL fields, of course, are the center line is 55 yards, and the end zones are 25 yards wide, or long, I should say. And so an NFL field is what, 120 yards? Well, a CFL field is 160 yards. And so if you see those seats back there, you look over by where I've got the Blue Jays lineup, those seats would have been absolutely terrible. But unlike the Coliseum, this is it doesn't play like a bandbox. Ernie Witt doesn't either. He's at 250, 3 homers, and 30 RBI. Ogier deals, and there's a fly ball to center. Glenn Wilson goes back and makes the catch for the out. Alfredo Griffin at 245, no homers and 31 RBI. So yeah, they could have made that all the way down there. It just was. They talked about building a new park pretty much when Exhibition Stadium opened. Of course, as Dave Baseball Demos will tell you, it snowed the first game in Blue Jay history against the Chicago White Sox. Dave replayed it on his channel. Pitch to Griffin is a base hit to the left side. Herndon grabs it. 1 on, 1 out for Damaso Garcia. So Ogier, 35 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, and that's it. No runs, no drips, no walks, no strikeouts. Garcia singled his first time up. Yeah, the Rogers Center is much nicer. Didn't play in the snow though. I hope not. Not too many settings in any baseball games for snow. It's technically the Canadian National Exhibition Park, part of the Canadian National Fairgrounds, which are still there. In fact, here's the pitch to Garcia. Ground ball to Brookins. Is going to Whittaker for 1. Over to Leach. Garcia's speedy, and they don't get him. So Garcia beat it out. 2 out for Mullenix, who grounded into a double play his first time up. Cavernous is the right word. Today, there's a stadium there. It's where Toronto's MLS team, I almost said MSL, MLS team plays. It's called BMO Stadium, and now, and everything old is new again, the Argonauts, of course, moved out of the Sky Dome and moved here. So the Argos play where they did before. There's no talk of moving the Blue Jays back outside. Pitch to Mullenix is a ground ball to Trammell. He flips it to Whittaker for the fielder's choice, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 3, Detroit nothing and Toronto nothing. Yeah, you could have used some sugar. You know, if Al's still here, I think his friend Gigio can hook you up with some of that stuff. All right, here's Tom Brookins, Herndon, and Parrish for the Tigers in the 4th. Sports Time Machine's doing some wrestling when we're done here, and we're already well over our allotted time. So apologies to that. Brookins struck out his first time up. Pitch from Gott, ground ball foul, first base side, and the count is full 3-2. Gott delivers, struck him out, throw down to first, and Upshaw will get it, so 1 away. Third strikeout for Mr. Gott. Brings up Larry Herndon, is 0 for 1. Can you hook up, yeah, flurry of problems. Yeah, GGO can usually hook you up with whatever you need, Dave. Pitch to Herndon, struck him out, so Gott's rolling right along, an 0-2 fastball right down Broadway. And there's 2 out for Parrish. Lance struck out his first time up. Jim delivers, fly ball to center. Mosby makes the catch to retire the side. 3.5 in the books, no runs, no hits, no errors. Detroit nothing. Toronto nothing. Mosby, Upshaw, and Powell due up for the Jays. 84 degrees, winds blowing in off the lake. Smell all that dead seaweed. Mosby's 0 for 1. Yep, that's it. Yeah, pretty much that's it. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety, except for on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. And to steal a page from one of my football replays, then on CBS, it's Murder, She Wrote, followed by the CBS Sunday night movie I Am a Teenage Bimbo, starring Valerie Bertinelli and Marlon Perkins. Here's Mosby. Mosby's 0 for 1. Pitch from Ujer. Struck him out. 0-2 pitch just below the belt. And that's the first for Jerry. Here's Upshaw. He's 0 for 1. Ujer deals. Fly ball to right. Lemon goes back to the track. He'll turn and watch it go. And so Willie Upshaw hits a home run, and the Blue Jays go up 1-0. Let's watch it again. Upshaw just kind of hooked that one down the line, and all Lemon could do was watch. So Toronto goes up 1-0. And the Tigers really can't afford to get too far behind Baltimore. Here's Hoskin Powell. He's 0 for 1. The 10th end. How you doing? Nice to have you along. The 10th was with ID's chat. Glad that you came over. Hope you enjoy. Pitch to Powell is a ground ball to Brookins at third, and that will eat up Brookins. So Powell is on with the air, and he's going to get 2 because it bounced off Brookins' glove and went into the outfield. So Larry Herndon picked it up. So it's a 2-base error for Glenn Adams, who doubled his first time up. He's giving Ujer the willies. I am pronouncing that right? Pitch to Adams. I know I'm pronouncing that right. Fly ball popped up. Trammell on the sliding pit makes the catch. 2 out for Al Woods, who's 0 for 1. Powell takes off. Leach takes it himself, and that will retire the side. So the Blue Jays get a run on the Upshaw homer. A hit in the air which does not hurt. After 4, the Blue Jays break out on top, 1-0. And now I apologize to your ears for what I'm about to do. Okay, thanks, Larry. In an effort to be more environmentally friendly. No, Larry says I had it right. My wife was very nice to buy me some multi-use metal straws, but sometimes I have water in a plastic container, and sometimes I have seltzer in a can, and tonight it's seltzer in a can, and metal on metal sounds a lot like my singing. Richie Hebner's 0 for 1. Hebner with Leach and Lemon to follow. Pitch from Gott, and Hebner slams that one into right, but Powell's there for the out. Ricky Leach is 0 for 1. Mr. Shenanigans, by the way, is en route to Wales. He should be with us hopefully on Thursday afternoon as he gets his training for his brand new job. So looking forward to hopefully Clinton has a safe flight, and we hope to see him for some tea time baseball Thursday and Friday. Pitch to Leach is 0 for 1. That's a liner to Powell. Hoskin doesn't even have to move. 2 away. So Chet Lemon is 0 for 1. Heavy metal. Oh, God. Ow. If you have Prince Albert in a can, you better let him out. It's not Prince Albert. It's a Polar Black Cherry Seltzer. Pitch to Lemon. Popped up. Left side. Griffin has it. And so halfway home, it's Toronto 1, Detroit nothing, and we'll give you the in-game box score. Willie Upshaw's homer has been the only run of the game. Tigers have been held to 2 hits on the great pitching by Ujer and Gott. So it's Montreal and Philadelphia Thursday afternoon at noon, and then Kansas City and Baltimore in an honest-to-goodness doubleheader Friday at noon. Pack your lunch accordingly. And don't forget, speaking of sports simulations and replays, that 70s tournament continues Sunday at, I think, 2 o'clock Eastern, as we play the 70 Baltimore Orioles and the 75 Boston Red Sox. That's this week's game on that 70s tournament, presented by Sports Simulations and Replays, the Facebook group. We're pushing for 1,000 members. If you haven't joined, do it. I'm there. That's all you need. Here's Ernie Whitt. Ernie's 0 for 1. Ujer delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Lemon goes back, way back there, and it's gone. So Ernie makes it 2-0. Let's watch that again. So Ujer kind of hung that one over the plate, and with the wind blowing in from right, it takes a wicked poke to get one out, but both the home runs this afternoon, or tonight, have gone into that stiff wind. Here's Alfredo Griffin. He has singled his first time up, 1 for 1. Sale is 16 Ks? Wow. Of 17 Ks. What inning are they in now? Yep. In a couple of weeks when we do the A's and the Yankees, it will be the Reggie Jackson Bowl from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and there won't be any Howard Cosell to step on Keith Jackson and any potential home run calls. So, wow, Chris Sale. I don't know what it was down the lines. These weren't cheapy shots here. Pitch to Griffin, and there's a base hit in the left field. Herndon throws it back in, and that'll bring up Damaso Garcia. So through 18 batters, Ujer has thrown 63 pitches, 4+ innings, 6 hits, the 2 homers to Upshaw and Witt, and 1 strikeout. The 6th? Wow! Yeah. The record, of course, is 20. How many pitches? Done by Roger Clemens twice and Kerry Wood, but they both got their 20th in the 9th. Ujer may need relief. I'm sure he will. Maybe. And Scherzer, of course. Max Scherzer did it. Pitch to Garcia is a fly ball to left. Herndon has it flagged down, and there's 2 away. I got both my screens tied up here, so Rance Mulliniks is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. So the 2-2 was swung on and missed, and that'll bring up Lloyd Mosby. So that's the second for Jerry, who does not have 17 strikeouts tonight. Lloyd Mosby is the other strikeout victim. He's 0 for 2. Pitch to Mosby. Got him. So Ujer heard that from the future and got the rest of the side. 1-2 pitch in there at the knees. A run on 2 hits. The homer by Witt. After 5, it's Toronto 2. The Tigers nothing. Well, you take them out of that altitude, Dave, and that's what happens. Glenn Wilson, Alan Trammell, and Lou Whitaker as we start the 6th. 2-0 Blue Jays. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Toronto has stranded 4. And since we're in Canada, it's Detroit. No runs on 2 hits and an error, and they've stranded 1. Oh, baby. Pitch to Wilson. Popped up right side. Powell, 1 away. 7 innings. That's still pretty good. Larry's not under contract. Wonder what his pitch count is. It's the first sales start I've actually missed this year. Alan Trammell's 1 for 1. Alan again gives me that dirty look. Pitch from Gott. Fly ball to right. Back goes Powell, 2 away. Here's Lou Whitaker as Gott goes through the lineup after 18 batters on 64 pitches. That's efficient. 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits and 4 strikeouts. Whitaker single, stole a base and grounded into a double play. 1 for 2. Oh, how you doing, Sports Time Machine? We'll get to you soon, buddy. Sparky will have to channel his inner Michael J. Fox and go back to the Ujer. You know, I've been tempted to make a couple Uber jokes because that's also pretty close. Pitch to Whitaker. Ground ball to Griffin over to Upshaw, and that will retire the side. So Gott has got it going on. Kind of like Stacy's mom after 5.5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Toronto 2. Detroit nothing. So Upshaw, who's got the homer. Powell and Adams will bat for the Jays here in the bottom of the 6th. Willie, 13th of the year, is last time up, and 45 RBI. Ujer delivers, ball 4. So Upshaw draws the walk for Powell, who's 0 for 2. It might lift the mood. 82 Padres at Mets, 6-4 Padres. Larry, how far along are you in that replay? You know, I see Jerry munching on some sunflower seeds as Powell digs in and puts the bag back in his pocket. So in that case, it really would be an Uber Eats delivery, wouldn't it? Parrish goes out to talk to Ujer. And Powell slaps that one into center. Upshaw will hold at second. Whitaker should have had that. And the Blue Jays have runners on first and second for Glenn Adams, who was 1 for 2 with a double. May 10th. Congratulations. You just doing the Padres or all of 82? Pitch to Adams. Gets away from Parrish. And even though it's marked as a pass ball, it really isn't because Upshaw stayed put. I think that's how that works. Nobody out of 3-0 count to Adams. Here's the pitch. And there's a base hit left side. Upshaw will score. Powell goes to third. And Toronto doing some binary work. 3-0 here in the 6th. Al Woods is 0 for 2. Powell on third. Adams on first. And Ujer may get a lift out of here from the bullpen wagon. Here's the pitch. And Wood slaps that one into right field. Powell will score. That's the second bad play in a row by Whitaker, who should have had it. And it's 4-0. Ernie Witt homered his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Pitch to Ernie. Popped up. Parrish takes off the mask, goes to the screen. It's out of play. So first and second. 2-strike count to Witt. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Ujer delivers. Ball 4. Turf ate him up. Yep. So they're loaded for Alfredo Griffin. He is singled twice. Adams on third. Woods on second. And Witt on first. Playing all status pro. Okay. Just a hobby as Larry plays a bunch and then it sits and then he plays a bunch in about 5 years. That's the way to do it. Just enough to keep you busy but not enough to feel pressured. Best of luck to you. Bert can't put... Oh, so we could have Bert and Ernie. Rubber ducky. Here's the pitch to Griffin, and there's a ground ball to Trammell. Whitaker for 1, and Witt with a roll block slide, and there will be no throw to first. So Garcia, they're playing him in. Oh, they're in the corners. I'm not going to bunt here. So Woods on third, and Griffin on first. 5-0 Toronto. They've kind of broken this open. Ujer deals, and Garcia to Whitaker. Woods will score. Griffin with is out at second. The throw to Leach, and Garcia beat it out. And so this has been a disastrous inning for the Tigers defense, as Lou Whitaker got charged with 2 poor plays. Here's Mullenix. Rance is 0 for 3. He has struck out Ujer, by the way, through 27 8-batters. 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 2 homers, walked 2 and struck out 3. 6 earned runs on 109 pitches. Runner on first, 2 out. He deals, and Mullenix strikes out. 1-2 off-speed pitch. Was not in the zone, but that ends the inning. Not before Toronto takes advantage of that defense. 4 runs on 3 hits and no errors. 6 in the books here in Toronto. Toronto 6, Detroit nothing. Campy was on the Angels. He's been in the replay. And Dale Lonsdale tells us that the New Orleans Pelicans got the first pick in the NBA draft. So Patrick Ewing couldn't jinx it for the Knicks again, right? Tom Brookins, Larry Herndon, and Lance Parrish. Tom has struck out both times. And will fly out to Powell to start the inning. 1 away. Larry Herndon is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Jim's pitch, it hit him. You know what? Jim pitched for the Padres, and who's hurt? Herndon? Herndon got hit in the ribs, and so the Tigers get that spray stuff out there, that Bactine, and spray his midsection, but, you know, rub some dirt on it. Here's Lance Parrish. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Got pitches, and there's a base hit in the left. Woods will pick it up. Mullenix, not a great defender, should have had that ball. And so the Tigers are in business. 1 out, top the 7th. So Knicks got 4th. It took Sale out. Yep, so Zion is going to New Orleans. So he'll play 3 years and get traded, right? Pitch to Hebner is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Mullenix. Only play is to first. Hebner with speed turns on the afterburners and is still out. So 2 out for Rick Leach, who's 0 for 2. Herndon couldn't take a ribbing. You want the groan now or later? And Witt goes out to talk to Gott. Gott's tank is running close to E. And there's a line drive to right that's gone. Rick Leach scalded that one deep down the line and right, and it's now 6-3 Toronto. So all 3 homers hit into a 10-mile-an-hour wind in right field. That ball was scorched. There must have been kids who sat out there on that nasty turf and tried to field those balls. And they would have bounced a ways too, because that was all artificial surface. That's the latter half of the football field. Chet Lemon is 0 for 2. 6-3 now, Toronto. 2 outs in the 7th. And Lemon strikes out, so Gott gets out of it on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 runs, 2 hits, and nowhere. 6.5 in the books. It's Toronto 3. Toronto 6, Detroit 3. And friends and ones that might be new, a gentle reminder that I have a Patreon account set up for this channel, so if you are interested in just throwing a few bucks the channel's way, this is my primary job with my disability and all. I would greatly appreciate it. You can check to see what goodies you get if you give a certain amount of money, but really, I don't really care. A buck, a two, or even nothing. Just the fact that you're here is all I care about. But a special shout out to Appa Bolt, who is my latest Patreon contributor, and he joins Al Red Sox fan, Bobby Camilano, Dale Lonsdale, David Armstrong, Dave Little, Phenomatic, and John Marichich. So again, thanks to all of my Patreon contributors to help make this channel better. But again, really just, if you feel like doing it, that's great. And if you don't, no hard feelings. But a special shout out to Applebolt for his contribution. All right. Pitch over. Back to the game. Well, New Orleans can afford him, Dale, because it's all slotted anyway. So Mosby, it'll be look at the right side, Ronnie. Mosby, Upshaw, Powell, 6-3 now, and Hoodier's been given a second life. Gott's probably done. He's at 105 pitches. 6-3 Jays as we start at the bottom of the 7th. Mosby has struck out twice. Ground ball to Trammell. Over to Leach. Mosby's hustling, and he beat it out. So that one is an artificial surface single. Brings up Willie Upshaw, who has a solo shot, scored twice, walked once. Was that my payoff pitch? Yes, exactly. Exactly it was. Hoosier delivers, and Upshaw flares that one into right center. Lemon on a hop. Mosby goes to third. And there's runners in the corners and nobody out for Hoskin Powell. 1 for 3 with a run scored. Well, yeah, but for the next 3 years, they can. And who knows? Pitch to Powell. Fly ball to left center. Back goes Wilson. He makes the catch. Mosby will tag at third and score without a throw. And we got ourselves a pitching change. The score 7-3. This game is coming to you from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. Dave Tobik. 3-2 on the year with 2 saves, a 2.91 ERA. 12th relief appearance of the year. His last outing was July 8th. Ooh, it's been a while since he pitched. He threw 2/3 of an inning against the White Sox, allowed a hit and a strikeout. So 21 2/3 innings, 14 hits, 1 homer, 8 runs in total, 7 earned runs. He's walked 3 and struck out 16. And in that 3 weeks when he didn't pitch, he got to save his last time out. So 1 out, here's Adams. Glenn is 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Upshaw on first. 1 out. 7-3, Toronto. Ground ball to Trammell. To Whittaker for 1 over to Leach. And the Tigers get the best friend. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. After 7, it's Toronto 7, Detroit 3. And with righties coming in, Dale Murray will try for the 6 outs to end the ball game. Murray is having a fantastic year. 7-2 with 2 saves and a 3.43 ERA. This is relief appearance number 23, and thankfully he doesn't have the porn stash going. He last pitched a week ago against the Chicago White Sox. You thought you were done with the White Sox. No. He went 2 innings, allowed 4 hits, a run. It was earned in a losing effort, and struck out 1. So in 39 and 1/3 innings, 43 hits, only 1 homer, 16 runs total, 15 earned. He's walked 16 and struck out 17. Jays and Royals had huge home field advantage playing on that turf. Yep, absolutely. And Euchre's by that scoreboard and right. Brother of Ann Murray. The White Sox are like John Watson. They just don't go away. So Glenn Wilson, Trammell, and Whittaker here in the 8th. Good night for God. He only allowed 4 hits. Pitch to Wilson. Ground ball to Garcia. Over to Upshaw, 1-1. RF, glad to have you there. So Alan Trammell's 1 for 2. Murray deals. And Trammell spites me again with a single. If you're a Tiger fan, you're going to love it when I have them on because Alan always gets hits. Here's Lou Whittaker. Not had a great night defensively. No errors, but 2 misplays led to a big Toronto run, 4 runs in the 6th. At the plate, he's 1 for 3. Singled, stole a base, and grounded into a double play. Murray deals, and Whittaker slaps that one into right. So the Tigers are in business here to start the 8th. Before Sports Time Machine was going, I thought I was going to get a chance here. You'll get it. You'll get it. Tom Brookins has struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Murray delivers right to Mullenix, who leaps and makes the good leaping snag. 2 away. For Larry Herndon, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a run scored. So RF is new to the channel, and there was someone else I missed that was new to the channel. And so if you're new to the channel and not in the chat, hey, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. Say hi to the good folks. They don't bite. Al nibbles once in a while. But Baseball Demos took a shower this morning, and we're all good. Pitch to Herndon. Struck him out. Murray got him to swing and miss on a 0-2 pitch. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 7.5 in the books. Elias Sosa anew is on to pitch for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Toronto 7, Detroit 3. GGO bites, huh? 10th end. Thank you. So 10th end in RF. Thanks for being there. We had fun at ID Jester's game, and thanks for watching this one. And Phantomatic, how you doing, buddy? So Sosa, not Sammy, 2-2 on the year with 2 saves. And the 6.11 ERA. What do you get if you dial 611? Don't do it. This is his 30th relief appearance. Good reliever for the A's and the Mariners back in the late 70s. His nickname, by the way, is Lights. Come on, don't freeze up. He last pitched 5 days ago against the Yankees, and they proceeded to Christmas tree him. 1 inning, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and no strikeouts. Sosa's allowed 6 home runs. 45 2/3 innings, 56 hits, 34 total runs, 31 earned. He has walked 20 and struck out 22. So, reminder, big one for you Thursday, Montreal and Philadelphia at noon from the VIT. It might be Elias. Anyway, you missed the joke about being the... I think it is Elias. So Montreal and Philadelphia from the vet on Thursday. If the Phillies are going to make a run, they got to start beating Montreal. And on Friday at noon, it's a doubleheader. Kansas City and Baltimore. Yeah, but how many dislikes are there, Al? So Al Woods is 1 for 3. He is singled and scored. And drove in a run, his 19th. Sosa's pitch is a ground ball to Trammell over to Leach, 1 out. Parrish, Hebner, and Leach for the Tigers in the ninth to face Murray. Witt had a solo shot. The wind is still blowing out. Oh, now right to left. It's changing. It's now 88 here. That wet turf must have smelled wonderful as it baked in the sun. Oh, God. Pitch to Witt. Popped up left side. Brookins has it for the out. 2 away. So Alfredo Griffin, 2 for 3. He has singled twice. Drove in his 32nd run. Oh, bark in the park there. Oh. Now, they do that a lot in Washington, and that's fine, but, you remember Marge Schott and her dog Shotzi? Now, when they were, of course, the Reds were still at Riverfront then, and that dog would poop on the rug. Oh. Pitch to Griffin. And, hold on, a 1-2 pitch. It was originally strike 3, but Parrish made contact with the shoulder, and so Parrish and Stevie Wonder are having a few words, and Stevie said, "I heard it, man, I heard it." It's interference, and so Griffin gets first with 2 out for Garcia. Damaso is 1 for, we had that discussion, is 1 for 4. He's got a single and an RBI. Oh, yeah, just gross. How you doing, Bud W? Pitch to Garcia. There's a base hit in the left. Herndon picks it up. And Griffin with 2 out will hold at second. Here's Rance Mulliniks. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. I think it's time for a pinch hitter, don't you? Garth Ord. Party on, Garth. Party on, Wayne. Garth at 296, a homer and 25 RBI. And we'll finish the game playing third, but oopsie, he's got a 13-game hitting streak going. I think that's about done. Sosa delivers, struck him out. No runs, 1 hit, no error. We go to the top of the ninth. Toronto 7, Detroit 3. Is catcher interference new with the? No, I've seen catcher interference before. Doesn't happen very often. The runners possibly not advancing, I think, is new. And I had a 4-1 play in the field last week. But yeah, the patch is just good. So, well, goodness gracious, Oregon is any better than whoever yanked out Mulliniks. So Org is in at third. Murray in to get the last 3 outs. Parrish, Hebner, and Leach. Murray's pitch. Parrish hits this one in the left. Woods is there, 1 away. So 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Jays. Tigers have left 3 on, Toronto 7. And Hebner is 0 for 3. Murray deals, and Richie lines that into center. Mosby has it, and we're down to the last out. So Rick Leach, who drove in all 3 Tiger runs on that 3-run blast in the 7th, is the last chance saloon for the Detroit team today. Pitch from Murray, ground ball to Garcia, over to Upshaw. And the Jays are indeed Baltimore's favorite team, as they've taken another one from Detroit, 7-3. And so we'll go through the box score, and then we'll play the rest of the day out, and then only about 35 minutes late. Where's the box score? Oh, here it is. So Gott gets the win. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. The homer to Leach. He struck out 5. Dale Murray got the last 6 outs. He faced 8 batters, struck out 2. Jerry Ujier pitched okay until his defense let him down in the 6th. The 2 homers to Witt and Upshaw didn't help either. Tobik and Sosa combined to allow a hit and a strikeout. And so I'm going to give my MVP to Jim Gott. Let's see, but the computer goes with Willie Upshaw. Yeah, that is kind of cool. All right, before we say goodnight, we're going to do this game the rest of the day rather quickly. As you'll see me, last day of July. So the other day games, the Phillies beat the Cubs 4-2. Marty Bystrom gets the win. Milwaukee shuts out Cleveland. Mike Caldwell with a complete game. He strikes out too, 8-0. Minnesota 10-2 over Oakland. Doubleheader from Cincinnati. In the first game, the Reds win 7-3. Leslie gets the win. Lawler takes the loss. And in the second game, San Diego with Eric Shaw beats the Reds 9-5. Montreal beats St. Louis. Sorry, ID 6-5 and 10. Jeff Reardon gets the win. He goes to 4-2. Look at the camera, Ronnie. Houston beats San Francisco in game one of a doubleheader. That's kind of odd since it's in Houston. 3-2. Vern Rule goes to 6-4 on the year. The Mets beat the Pirates 3-1. Tony Palillo goes to 6-8. The Rangers shut out the Yankees 3-0. Charlie Huff goes to 9-7. Chicago beat the Red Sox 10-7. Britt Burns with the win. Steve Kemp with his 15th of the year. Baltimore 14. Kansas City 8. Wow. Mike Flanagan goes to 13-5. No Chesterfields were harmed in that game. Vita Blue takes a loss. Rick Dempsey with his 4th of the year. And last but not least, California 7, Seattle 6. And so, as I say a thank you to all of you, we leave you with the standings. Mike Schmidt has finally been passed in the batting chase. Bill Buckner leads the majors at 346. Baltimore by 2 over the Tigers, 5 over Milwaukee, and 8 over Toronto. In the West, California now is a 4-game spread over the Royals. Montreal 7 over the Phillies, and Los Angeles 10.5 over Atlanta. Montreal and Philly Thursday afternoon at noon. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Tomorrow I'm on This Week on the E with Dave Gardner. Have a good night.